Everybody got quiet so quickly. Good morning. All right, thank you. My name is Dave Lorenzo, and it's my pleasure to welcome you today to the Bast Amron 2018 Business Advantage Forum. It is an absolute honor to be here, and I'm going to be kind of your host, ringmaster, / if you need anything, I'm the guy to see. I want to do just a couple of what we call housekeeping notes. Just do a couple of, wait, if you're going to take the picture, I got to take these off, right? Do a couple of things so that you know where everything is. Those of you who need the restroom, which should be just about all of you, at some point, out the doors to the left and down the hallway on this side, okay? We have Wi-Fi access here. Who needs Wi-Fi access? Raise your hand. Okay, look for SunTrust Conference Room, and then you should see these all over the place. Hashtag SunTrust Guest. That's what that says, right? I don't have my glasses on now. Yes, hashtag SunTrust Guest. Thank you. And that will get you the access to the Wi-Fi, and you can do whatever you need to do with Wi-Fi. Now, throughout the course of the day, we have all sorts of great activities planned. We have some networking planned for you. We have program networking, and of course, you can network on your own. We also have in the back of the room, if everyone would just turn and look in this corner, ladies wave, we have some massage therapists with chair massages so that if you feel like the discussion is getting just too heavy for you and you need to take the edge off, those folks in the back of the room are experts. They're highly qualified, licensed massage therapists being provided for your convenience here today. Now, it's important that we talk about the reason why we're here. And today we're going to discuss some topics that are probably not being discussed in a lot of workplaces. And the reason that we're going to do that is because this event was modeled after some practices that are put in place in one of the best law firms that I've seen, and I've seen over 400 law firms. I've worked with over 780 some odd lawyers in the last 10 years. And I have to tell you that I speak maybe 75, 80 times. I spoke 8 times last week, and this date has been circled on my calendar for the better part of this year. And the reason this date was circled on my calendar is because of the discussion that we're going to start today. Now, we're going to talk about some things that are topical, and we're going to talk about them in a way that will hopefully bring people together. And for my purposes, this event is an event that I think you're going to go home and you're going to say to the people that are close to you, you know, I've got some good ideas that I can bring back to work to make my office, to make my workplace not only a better place, but to help us recruit the best people. With unemployment at the level that it's at now, we all need a competitive advantage. And if you can create a workplace with a culture where people tell their friends that they want to bring them in to work with them, if you can create a workplace where people say that they are comfortable being themselves, if you can create a workplace where everyone has the same opportunity to advance, I mean, my friends, that should really be the price of entry into the workforce today. But it is right now a competitive advantage. And what we're going to share with you is a series of discussions. And they're discussions that we hope will stimulate some thought. We hope they'll provoke some ideas, and we hope that when you go home, you'll think to yourself, this is something that I can model back at my office. Does that sound good? Yes or yes? All right, thank you. So here's what I'd like to do to kind of stimulate some activity and to make sure that we are all in agreement that we're going to have a good discussion. I want you to do something for me. I want you to stand up. Everybody get up on your feet. Okay, we're going to do this. I want you to, I have a pledge here that you're going to recite after me, okay? So repeat after, raise your right hand. Raise your right hand. Believe me, it's gonna get hinkier than this for the rest of the day, so if you don't do this, we're gonna have a big problem. Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I promise to listen with open ears, to welcome opinions with an open heart, and to give Dave Lorenzo $50. All right, everybody have a seat. Now I want to take a minute and I want to introduce you to the people who made this whole day possible. And I want to speak for a moment, not on a script that we created, but really from my heart, from the way I feel about them. I work with Bast Amron, and I help them with all sorts of stuff, business strategy and business development, relationship development. And I tell you that it is an absolute pleasure to walk into their office every day because I feel like I'm walking into an environment where not only am I comfortable being myself, but it's an environment where I have the opportunity to do the best work that I can do. And, you know, all those law firms that I worked with, I can tell you that this is one that is truly unique. Now, the first person that's going to come up today is one of the founding partners. His name is Bast Amron. And Brett is an outstanding lawyer. He is a role model and a mentor to the folks in his firm. But I think to me, most importantly of all, is he's a wonderful family man, a devoted partner to the folks in his firm. But most importantly, he's a fantastic dad. So I'd like you to please put your hands together and welcome Mr. Bast Amron.
Wow, thank you. You sure you talked to my kids before you said that? Thank you all for coming. I appreciate it. Thank you, Dave, for that introduction. We're so happy to have you here to start what we hope is a continuing conversation for years to come. We've got some really great panelists, really to discuss some really timely and thought-provoking issues that really each of us, in one way or another, deal with on a daily basis. But before we sort of get into that, I wanted to give you a little insight into literally how we got here today and why we decided to put this on. So some of you may know, if you've been to a conference that lawyers typically go to, there are, well, thousands of other lawyers that you're seeing and shaking hands with. And we listen to other lawyers and judges discuss court decisions and the implications of legislation, etc., which of course is relevant to what we do. We stand in a room with 1,000 people, mostly lawyers. I'm sure there's a joke in there somewhere. So we're all talking about how much work we have and at the same time trying to get business from that person. There's no discussions or presentations about starting a business, running a business, best practices, etc. So last year, our leadership team sat around and said, you know, what can we do? We wanted to come up with goals for 2018, and we call them our wildly important goals, or short for WIGs for short. And one of those WIGs was putting together an event that we wanted to address important issues to us and the community. And we wanted an event that reflected our story and our values. And today is hopefully the start of that, start of something special that will evolve and grow for many years to come. And I think it's important, though, for you to understand a little bit about how Jeff and I came together to form Bast Amron, because then I think you'll see sort of this theme thread throughout, not just today, but how we started our firm, why we started our firm, and the culture that we've generated. So Jeff and I both left our respective firms in early 2008, and we're on our own. We didn't really know each other that well. We knew each other from the practice, but we started to use each other as that partner down the hall, and started at that point to see some synergies between not just our practices, but our mindset, what we wanted to achieve out of not just the practice of law, but operating and running a business. I had to move in where Jeff was subleasing space. I needed some more space, so Brian Tannenbaum, who you'll hear from later, took us in, or took me in, and that was the start of, for me, a wonderful relationship. And now Brian is now sitting in the office next to me again, so it comes full circle. So Jeff and I started to really see the bond and the symbiotic relationship that we had. Again, not just our practice, but our mindset and what we wanted to create And in May 1 of '09, we came together and formed Bast Amron, and the rest, it'll be 10 years in May, which is astonishing. And so what we wanted to do was our vision was to build a better mousetrap. And that was one that was focused on caring. And we call it internally as the care factor. And that's something that we really focus on when we look to hire people. That's something we always, when we interview people, we really look for whether or not they care, because everything else can fall into place. And that's not just caring about the clients, but the community, the employees, the environment, and themselves, right? We all have to care about ourselves as well. And we commit, and we want everyone else to commit, to being the best that we can be in all phases. Just do good, do the right thing. And we've worked hard to create a culture where we enable the success of others. We compete, but we don't compete internally, we compete externally. And for those of you who may know me know I really do love to compete, but not internally. And we always look to enable the success of others within the firm. And that comes from the top, and how and why Jeff and I came together for a symbiotic relationship. And it's exhibited through the core values that Jeff's going to go through with you in a moment. And the core values that we have plastered up on our wall in our office. We want to share our culture and core values with you here today and learn from you as well in our effort to grow and get better each and every day. So I wanted to thank you all for coming and taking the time out of your busy lives and for your generous donation to the wonderful cause Cycle for Survival. You'll hear a little bit more about later today. I also wanted to give a special shout out to Dave for helping us put this together. Really, without him and without all of them, this wouldn't be possible and we wouldn't be here today. So thank you for that. So now I get the benefit of introducing Jeff, my other wife, who I actually spent more time with over the last 10 years than my actual wife. There is not a better lawyer in town. There is not a better person in town than my partner. I could not be luckier than to have found Jeff and to have formed this partnership in this business. Because there truly is, as you know, in terms of our culture and our core, there is no competition there. It is simply a relationship to try to go higher and better and bigger. I am really find myself to be the luckiest person. And every day when I go into the office, I am thankful and grateful that I have Jeff as my partner. And so, Jeff, come on up. Tell us about our core values.
I'm a little teary-eyed. Did we video that? I just want to make sure I can replay that. And I need that. I want that. Mark the time. I want that. Just that excerpt there. Thank you, Brett, and thank you everyone for being here today. We are so excited about this day. As Brett mentioned, we conceived of this idea a year ago at a leadership meeting, and the agenda really embodies what we had intended it to be, and that is who we are, what is important to us, what has made us successful, and what we can share and learn from each other. And I could not be more excited. As Brett mentioned, we're not college buddies or roommates or we didn't know each other for a long time. We were just two guys who had the same work ethic and the same moral fabric and the same hipster glasses and dietary restrictions, if you know us. I don't have his athleticism, but I strive to get there. Brett is today leaving on a plane at 4 o'clock to run the New York Marathon on Sunday, so. How much money have you raised? $4,800. That's in addition to the over $4,000 that we raised today. He raised almost $5,000 for Sloan Kettering. So thank you, Brett. Thank you for being a model for all of us. So the agenda, Brett talked about culture. When we formed this firm, we wanted it to reflect us and our values, and we've done a great job of that. We wanted to reflect who we are, but the we has changed over time. At the beginning, the we was he and I, and now there's 25 people. And so we've thought a lot about culture. And I've thought in preparation for today, what is culture? You know, I did not Google it. I thought to myself what culture is. And to me, culture is, you know, an individual has a personality. I have a personality. Brett has a personality. But when we gather a group of people together, their collective personality is the culture. And so we've focused on the culture of our firm. And in doing that, we recorded our core values. We wrote down our core values. They're on a wall in our office. I'm going to show you a picture in a minute. And if you haven't done that in your business, I highly encourage you to do that. Write down your core values. What is it that makes you who you are? And there's a few reasons why. I think, first of all, it makes you reflect on what's important. A lot of times we just take for granted what's important to us. And writing it down makes you think about what's important to you. And it makes you focus on what's important. And sometimes we lose sight of that. And the other reason is it can serve as a compass for your people, as a guidepost. When they're making a difficult decision, they should be guided by what is most important to you as a company. And I hope that for our people that our core values guide them not just in work, but at home and in their lives. I mean, what's important to you here in the office should be important to you outside the office. So when we wrote down our core values, we thought about who are our best people. All of our people are amazing. We have the most incredible people, like Brett said. But what are the characteristics of the people who are the top, the stars? What are the top qualities of the top people? And we wrote them down, and like I said, they're on a wall. We revisit them periodically. What makes us good? I'm rewriting them now. I'm going to be updating them. They're on our website. And so I just wanted to talk about them. We call them the 5 C's. You know, we commit, we communicate, we collaborate, we create, and we care. And so we are fully, I'll talk about them, we are fully committed. We are, whoops, I jumped the gun there. We are committed to whatever it is we do. When a client hires us with a problem, we take that problem on as our own. We think about the problem, we talk about it, we analyze it, we research it, we eat it, we sleep it, we dream it, it's consuming. I sometimes wish I wasn't so consumed with my clients' problems. But that's what makes us good. We're fully committed. And it's not just about work, it's about the things that are important to us, family and the environment and community and charity and Cycle for Survival. You know, you see the pictures, these are a few of the events that we've participated in. It was so important to us that all of the proceeds from today are being donated to Cycle for Survival, and we've raised over $4,000, and everybody is welcome to donate more if they want to today, if you feel so inclined. It's an amazing charity that supports rare cancer research. All the proceeds go directly to research. We're committed to the environment. We've done beach cleanups. You see in the back, Dara from volunteercleanup.org. Can you wave to him, Dara? Volunteercleanup.org. If you have a business or an organization and you want to do a beach or a park cleanup, it's not that easy to just show up at a park and start picking stuff up. Dara's organization makes it so easy. So tomorrow morning, we're doing a cleanup at Margaret Pace Park, which is on 17th in Biscayne, off Biscayne on the Bay. Anyone wants to show up, please join us, 9 to 11. Your high school age kids can get community service hours. For those of you who don't want to pay so much for college. So we've done beach cleanups. We've done reef restorations. We are committed to the things that are important to us. The second one is communication. The way we communicate as lawyers is critical. We believe in thoroughly honest and open communications. And the way we communicate to a judge or a jury should be open and honest, but the way we communicate with each other. So in our office, every week starts with a Monday morning huddle. We start off with a positive note. We talk about what's on the agenda for the week. We talk about some goals, and we end on a positive note. And we encourage our people always to communicate honestly and openly. If you have an issue with someone else, talk to them. Talk to people instead of about people. So communication is critical. Third is collaboration. We work in teams. You hire Bast Amron. What you're looking at, these photos here, is we had a trial out of town. We rented a house and lived in a house for 2 weeks together. We had clients in there. That's our clients sleeping on the couch. Clients in one room, experts in another room, consultants in one room. We were prepping Peter was scraps of paper, cutting them up. Zach was with the expert witnesses. There's a beer in the background. We collaborate, we work together. When you hire us, you don't hire Jeff Bast or Bast Amron, you hire the entire firm. And we believe that including all the people with different backgrounds and different experiences leads to a diversity of opinion and allows us to consider options that maybe wouldn't be on the table if it was just one person thinking about a problem. And so collaboration is critical to us. We consider ourselves to be creative. You know, we always say that any lawyer can win the easy case. If the facts and the law are on your side, you better win. We get hired for the challenging ones. We want to win the cases where the facts and the law are not on our side. That's the case we want to win. And so we try to look at things from a different angle, from a different perspective. I'm going to give you an example of one of these instances. We had a trial, it was a jury trial, a complicated case arising out of a dispute about a sale of a business, and there were issues about the value of the business. And how the hell do you explain that? Excuse my language. How do you explain that to a jury in Texas, no less? So we talked a lot about it, and we came up with a creative solution. Here you go.
Business assets can be valued for sale in different ways, but one common way is to base the price off the earnings. This is especially true for contracts. If I'm going to sell you a contract, you'll want to know how long the contract lasts and how much you can make from it. That's called earnings. You would then decide on an appropriate multiple of those earnings. To explain, if you could make $10,000 per year from an asset you owned, like the goose that lays golden eggs every year, you wouldn't sell the goose for just $10,000 because it will make you $10,000 each year. You'd want a multiple of those earnings before selling. The amount of the multiple would depend on how many years you lay golden eggs to make those earnings. Here, the parties agreed on a value of 4.2 times earnings.
So here we took a very difficult concept and we drew pictures. We did 5 of these little videos just addressing discrete issues. And that's a good example of our creativity. And the last one is what we call, Brett mentioned it, the care factor. We genuinely care. And the care factor ties them all together. We care about our cases, we care about our clients, we care about our friends. All of you are in this room because we care about you. That is a fact. And we care, because we care, all the other core values come together. It's because we care, we communicate. Because we care, we collaborate. Because we care, we create. I missed one. Because we care, we commit. And we care about all of you, and that's why you're in the room today. And we hope genuinely that you'll be able to take the time to be here today, to be present. I know you've already taken the time to be here, but put your phones away if you're so inclined. Pay attention. Get to know the people around you. We've tried to connect as many people as possible. We really want this to be a give and take. We want to share. We want to learn. We're here because we want to learn from you just as much as we're hoping to share some of our knowledge. And I hope that today you'll come away from this day maybe a little bit more learned, a little bit inspired, hopefully educated, hopefully entertained, and I expect a little happier. So I thank you so much for being here. Enjoy the day. Namaste.
All right, let's put your hands together for Jeff and Brett. Thank you very much, gentlemen.